I have so much to do. My nose. Okay. Good evening. My name is Holly Baglio. I'm your hostess with the mostest, broadcasting to you live from Holly Television, right here in my beautiful garden home state of New Jersey, USA. I want my HTV. I want it now, and I want it live. Yay! Okay, so I have out my dream book. Okay, as you all know, I try to draw my dreams and visions, and also some of my super soldier recalled memories. And this is my dream book that I make for Yud Hey Vav Hey. So when I go to heaven, I want to bring, well, 4 things. My cat, my dog, and this dream book, because I'm making it for him. In the past, I used to write poetry about everything and about everyone else, and I would read Nostradamus books and then go write a poem. I would read Socrates books and stuff about Plato, and then I'd go write a poem, and I would incorporate all of that in my poetry as well as my drawings throughout my entire life. So when I was approximately 40 years old, March or April 2015, I took all idols in my house and I burned them, from my black book, people and men that I put in front of Yud Hey Vav Hey to, not to be funny, but really I did throw in a couple of bills for good measure. But any idols, pictures of friends, people like making bad hand gestures, I just cleansed my house from all of that. But anyway, why did I even bring that up? I burned 2,000 poems that I had written and drawings I had made, and I got rid of it because I didn't want that to be my legacy. I'd rather have this dream book be my legacy. And when you open it up and look at it, you're going to be like, oh yeah, Holly Baglio was definitely a Yeshua's girl. She was definitely into Yeshua, and that's the legacy I want, So yeah, it's all my drawings. Now when I do make drawings and stuff and write, it's about him and for him. So in 2013, I'm going to try to keep this video short because I have a lot to do tonight. I'm very tired. So in 2013, I was reading a book by Betty Eadie named Embraced by the Light. And in that, light switches in my head went off and I began to have a flood of memories. And at that time, I remembered the time before I was born here on earth. I remember Yud Hey Vav Hey and his workshop. I remember some of the good angels. And I remember Abba. I remember Yeshua. I remember when he left heaven and had to come and be born here on earth. So that is definitely another story in itself. But when I read Betty Eadie's book, I said to Yud Hey Vav Hey, I got saved when I was 18. I believe, I could have at best been living a backslid life as far as what the Baptist Church had taught me. And I believe I have spiritual gifts. And Yud Hey Vav Hey, I want a future with you. If I don't have one, please give me one with you. And, Yud Hey Vav Hey, I believe I have dreams and visions, and will you please show me my future? And if you're not in my future, please put yourself in my future and show me it. Because I want a future with you. In Yeshua's name, Selah. Well, he gave me a ton of dreams. Okay, that dream book, back in 2014, 2015, I probably drew a good 70, 80 pictures, and I have like over 100. I don't know. I'm just guesstimating. There's probably a lot more, but I drew the bulk of them back. Yudhe Vavhe gave me the dreams in 2013, towards the end of 2013, towards the end of the summer. And because I asked him for a future and to have a future with him in it and to show it to me. And he did. And first and foremost, Yudhe Vavhe showed me that the Holy Bible is living. His logos in here are living. They're real. This book is real. It's a living book. And through this, we can still be cured and healed through his stripes. And, jeez, when I heard that this book was still living back in 2013, 2014, I guess around in that time frame, when I heard that this book is a living book and his words can still cure and heal, I was like, you know, I'm crazy. I'm going to take you up on that and find out what it's about, Heavenly Abba. I want to see this. If it's true, let's find out. So anyway, without further ado, he told me my future and my dreams. So December 2014 was the pivotal period of time that I woke up from MK Ultra and being used in super soldier projects and deep underground military bases. And at the end of 2014, beginning of 2015 was when I drew the bulk of my drawings. So I'm so glad I'm losing my audience. So I'm going to try to walk us through this real quick. Wow. Okay, so Yudhe Vavhe in the dreams, he would put me in a bubble or in a raft. Okay, so this is me in a bubble on a raft. Okay, and this is the ocean, and he was the sun shining down on me. I always felt warm, my stomach felt full, and my joints and bones never ached. And I love you, Lily. And they never ached, and I knew he was with me. And Yudhe Vavhe would show me these far-off islands. Hey, Death Bread. And I would have, right? And I would have a feeling like he was leading me to places because there were people I was to meet. There were things I was to do. And he was leading me and guiding me. So he would show me my dreams, and then they'd manifest in reality. And just that simple fact alone, when I realized that my dreams were coming true, which I knew that they always did throughout my life, but in 2014, when all of my dreams started coming true, it was like I couldn't take it. It was bombarding and overwhelming, to say the least. And I know a lot of people out there are like, oh yeah, I'm a psychic. I don't know about you, but being able to see the future is a very terrifying thing, and you're flaunting it. I don't believe you're a psychic. I think you're fake. And if you do have any abilities, it's coming from the dark side, from foul, filthy, nasty, heinous, ugly spirits. There's only one true spirit of the universe, and that's the Holy Spirit. So back to my dreams. So he'd show me far off places and islands, places I'd have to go, people I'd have to meet. One of my dreams he showed me, it seemed like all these huge, the raft and bubble he had me and carried me, and it seemed like there were these huge crashing, tumbling waves. And he brought me to this land, and it looked like a desert, like Africa, like a safari type thing. So this is like all kind of like the sand and dirt. There's like one tree, but here's all the big waves. And I saw all of these people there. I didn't know who they were. So I wrote Yudhe Vavhe, my kids, my flood dream. Well, in 2015, I met a ministry out in Uganda. They invited me to go out there, I guess, what do you say, as a missionary, and to campaign for them. You know, they take care of widows, orphan children and widows, orphan children, destitute people. And so this is why it's in a different color handwriting, because like I drew this in 2014, and then it's not until like 2015, like that, like after I draw this drawing, that I find out it's Uganda. And I was like, wow, because Yudhe Vavhe showed me these different places and people that I was to meet, but it's not like he gave me definite, like, fine details of everybody's face and names and phone numbers and stuff like that. He just showed me these people. He would show me these people that would either shine Yeshua's living light through them, or he showed me other people that were just dark and they didn't have Yeshua. But it's not like he told me their names and said, okay, you're going to be looking for Coach Dave Daubenmire. No, he just showed me the souls of people I was going to come into contact with. So this one I knew right off the bat it was weird. Yudhe Vavhe took me to another island. So he's always the sun shining down on me. And he brought me to this one island, and I met a bunch of hunters and fishermen, and we kept going to look for food, and there was none to be had, and I would venture out on the raft and come back, and sometimes people would join me, and we'd go out fishing, but there was no fish to be caught, and we'd come back. And the hunters would never find any deer. It was barren land, and this land reminded me of the center of Basking Ridge, New Jersey. It's great to see you, Greta. I'm so happy. This one, I think in real life, was South Carolina. Time periods in about around there, from Newfoundland to my attorneys to South Carolina, back to my attorneys in around that time period. So here I am in a bubble. This is, I'm not an artist obviously, but this is like a steep waterfall, like the Victoria Falls over in that other country that are like the biggest waterfalls you've ever seen. These are supposed to be trees. These are supposed to be animals, but they look like bison. They look like really big animals like that. This is the sun. This is a land. This is another piece of land. These are three souls. They're dark souls, like Yeshua's not in them. And Yudhe Vavhe showed me that he brought me. So like, as you know, he's got me on this raft and in a bubble. You know, we're on an ocean. The next thing you know, I'm like floating through a river and stopping at an island in the river. Or we're getting more, or he'll like, anyway, like have like the water flow into a lake. Well, anyway, at this one part of the river, you know, there's a waterfall in it. So I get to this section of the dream, and I was like, Yudhe Vavhe, please don't let me fall over the waterfall. And going down the waterfall, some of the animals were going with it. You'd see trees and parts of houses going over, but you'd see and hear these animals crying just as they're going over the edge and being swept away by these fierce waters. So Yudhe Vavhe had stopped me with all the waters flowing. They were getting more and more and more, and he brought me to a strip of land, and I paused there. And when I looked over, I saw three dark souls. And then I saw these animals, and they were stuck. It was like their hooves were stuck. And when they saw me, I looked at them, and they saw me, and they like recognized me. All of a sudden, they stopped thrashing around in the water and calmed down. Like they knew I wanted to help them. It was an instinct type thing. So some of the animals were able to get on land, and some of the animals and things were going over. But Yudhe Vavhe in the dream brought me over to this plot of land. And in the dream, I started to get the hooves of the animals, get the animals' hooves uncaught from the branches that were in the river. And once they got unstuck, they were then saved to get back on land. When these three people saw me, they got scared of me and ran away from me because they didn't have Yeshua's light in them. So I think this was happened when I lived in South Carolina for a couple of months. And this is during the time I recognized I received my mantle, and I was exercising my mantle. And what I mean by having a mantle is ekbalo in Yeshua's name. I can cast down dark powers, principalities, demonic forces and spirits and aliens, fallen angels, interdimensional beings by using Yeshua's name. So your mantle is exercising your right to cast down these things with his holy, 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 perfect saving name. So Yud-Hey Vav-Hey has his own symbolism to me that I can try to understand, but I'm still trying to understand the interpretation of the dreams that he gives me. And sometimes it's only after time where these dreams that he gives me then have more clarity and understanding. He brought me to 2 other plots of land, which were major events in my life. This reminds me of Newark, New Jersey, if you've ever been around Route 21 and 280 when they're all intersecting. And then you have, like, what's that called? The Pulaski Skyway right there. You have a whole bunch of bridges. Well, in the dream, cars were falling off the bridge. It was really gloomy and cloudy days, miserable, cold, wet, rainy. And I was up on this bridge, and as I was up on this bridge, it just seemed like it was a multi-leveled bridge. But it reminded me of Newark, New Jersey. But in the dream, the multi-level bridge would like break and crumble apart, and you'd just see cars come crashing through the levels and break through and go into the river, and that would be it. You'd see people falling off the bridge, and you'd see a bunch of mechanics, and they would be dressed in dark clothes, but they were dark souls too. And they would never give you a lending hand. They just let these people fall off the bridge and cars to be broken, and they could have helped, and they did not. Then Yud-Hey Vav-Hey in my dreams brought me to another plot of land. And this reminds me of the period of time before battered women syndrome. So that would be 2017 and 2018. 2017, 2018 time period. And Yud-Hey Vav-Hey brought me to another island, and this island seemed to have like these really huge roller coasters and really huge amusement park rides. And they resembled the up and downs of my personal life, and these were really wild rides. And there was only one man on the island, and he was a really dark soul. So there was another island I was on. I think this has to happen, or I think it actually already just did happen this past fall when I met Terry and Peggy and a few others. This is an island that he brought me to. I call this Round Valley, New Jersey, because I kept going around and around. Ignore the name in this, please, because I went to my attorneys, then I went sadly below the Mason-Dixon line, then back to my attorneys, and Flemington and Long Valley, and then 2019 was dealing with battered women syndrome and writing my autobiography. But then boom, I come back around, and again I'm right here gazing upon Round Valley Lake from Long Valley. So I've been here a few times, and I've met people here. This yellow Hummer, that's representative of super soldiers and them being present in my life, manifested. So in the dream, it was weird. Bright, beautiful colors. It looked like a fall day with the leaves changing, and the people I was around were just so nice and beautiful to me. They said to me, Holly, we've always been just right around the corner. And I remember in the dream I was riding my bike, and I got off my bike and I was walking with these people, and they were like, come with us, come in. And we entered into one of these houses. These cars are just normal people. These are people that are filled with Yeshua's living light. There's a part of the dream. Now, some of the parts of this dream, that Yud-Hey Vav-Hey gave me, I did not draw a drawing for. So there's supposed to be a couple of drawings in here. Now, that one should go in this pile. Now, there was another in the dream that Yud-Hey Vav-Hey gave me about my future with him, with so much symbolism in it. See, here's my raft, here's my foot, here's the water, and you can see the rocks below it. In the dream, Yud-Hey Vav-Hey had brought me on my raft. It looked similar to the Delaware River with low tide on a bright, hot, sunny summer day. And sometimes I was alone, and sometimes there was a bunch of people with me. Some were on rafts, some were on tubes, some had animals, some did not. The dream would progress and transpire. It was ongoing. It wasn't just a snapshot of one thing. It was like a movie. Okay, so I remember in the dream getting off on one island and seeing my attorney walk out from the bushes and shrubbery and forest on the island, and he was dressed in Rambo gear. Hey, Moa, it's great to see you. He was dressed in Rambo gear with high-powered weapons strapped onto him. And then Kurt had come along because when Yud-Hey Vav-Hey brought me to this one island, me and I'm just going to say Flowers, I'm not going to say her real name, we got off the raft, a bunch of us got off the raft, and we were on this one island. And I saw Kurt come out my attorney came out from the shrubbery and forest, and I gave him a hug and greeted him. And more people came forward from the forest to greet me and the others who had gotten off the raft. And I saw Kurt, and I was like, it's great to see you. I wish you were someone else. Great thing to say, Hal. Even in a dream? Really? You asshole, Holly. So anyway, but in reality, the weird thing is you guys were like, Holly, get back on the raft, get back on the raft. No, get back on the raft. And it was on these dreams. And I was like, why would I want to get off the raft? No, it would be good to be on land and stay on the raft. But, my attorney is deceased. So I wouldn't want to stay on an island where my attorney is, in reality deceased. In reality, he's deceased. But at the time I was given the dream, he was alive. I even told my attorney about this dream, and he laughed at it. So anyway, now there should be a drawing before this one. Before this one, I should draw like the river going into just a vast, huge, open expanse. Just with nothing around, and all you see is water. And the days in the dream get gloomy. And the raft is big. There's a bunch of people on the raft with me. And then there's like tubers that have tied their tubes onto the raft. And there's a group of us. And this body of water then changes. And it looks like we go over a little waterfall. It goes down. And now the body of water changes into, I guess what you'd say, a lake. And around the edges of the lake, you can see there's like tall buildings in one area. Then there's like maybe houses in another area. But it's built up. You can see bridges way off in the distance, too, connecting over rivers. So it's almost like you're looking at a city, a body of water, and then the city right next to it almost. But there's also open areas of this land which have nothing on it. But this body of water is like a lake. And once the raft goes over that little waterfall and gets into this body of water. Now this is the dream I didn't draw, is what I'm telling you right now, because there's a bunch of us. There's some people that have Yeshua and some people that don't, but there's a bunch of us, and we're all together. Yes, we're intermingling and talking and carrying on and having conversations, trying to live and survive, search for food, search for refuge. As far as what we're doing in the dream, we're looking for home, food, refuge, people. And Yud-Hey-Vav-Hey is always the sun shining upon our face, giving us that warm feeling. But sometimes in the dreams the days are cold. But anyway, so let me rewind. Before we go over that little waterfall that gets us in the body of water with like what looks like a city next to it, but there's still open areas on the land. When I was in the part with the raft where it kind of looks like the Delaware River, sometimes it's got very low tide, so you can see the islands and rocks and trees sticking up where there normally wouldn't be one if it was high tide or if there was like a lot of rain. So it was kind of like in the dream a drought scenario, and people sometimes were there and sometimes were not there. And like I said, they'd have their own rafts or maybe on tubes, whatnot. But it was just such a beautiful body of water. Seems like we all kind of gathered at that location. And December 2019, I went out by Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. And, hey, Andrew. I went out towards Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, and I went by a body of water. It wasn't the Delaware River. I forget the name of it. I don't want to say that word. I want to say a different word. There was a body of water, and this body of water was so beautiful, but it was snowing, and there was ice and snow all over. But as I drove along these roads, going up to a Pennsylvania huddle, with Bobby Lee. Well, he was hosting it. I drove along this body of water and I saw these rocks sticking up out of the body of water. And then at one point, I come along and see, as I'm driving along, I see they have a statue sticking up out of the body of water. And it was absolutely just beautiful. I actually tried to run you guys a video of driving my car when I came back down around. I should look that up. I never watched the video, but I can remember what it looked like. And it was just so beautiful. I was like, wow. I remember running the live stream, coming home, driving home, going, guys, this is right out of my dream. It's right out of my dream. This is it. This is the body of water. Well, this weekend I will be visiting David Author, Bobby Lee, Trish. Hopefully Mrs. Coach is there. Coach Dave Daubenmeier. And I'll be visiting with them Saturday in Pennsylvania again. So getting back to the dreams that Yud-Hey-Vav-Hey gives me. So I didn't draw that part of the dream for you guys. And it did come true in reality. But now we're moving along in the dream that Yud-Hey-Vav-Hey gave us. And what's going to happen in the future come next? He's going to get us in a big body of water. We'll go over this kind of little waterfall or roll in the water. I don't know how you put it. And when he puts us in the lake with there's trees, there's buildings. I know I didn't put the buildings in here. But the raft is big, and, all of us have connected together. We've got canoes and rafts and tubers and everything. And, again, we're searching for water, food, people. And these are rocks. These are big whale-like sharks, fish, whatever. And these are smaller fish. the body of water that we go into, I try to incorporate everything into one picture, but when we go into that darker body of water, it's a gloomy day. It's no longer pretty around us. It's no longer looking like this, like how December 19th looked when I was, I don't know, the body of water, I don't know, I want to say that word. It was near Harrisburg. But when this guy gets hit on the head, like, this is the last dream left of the series of dreams that Yud-Heh-Vav-Heh gave me. I don't have any dreams come after this about my future. So in this dream, the guy says, stand back, this is a man's job, Holly. The raft got caught in something, I'm going to dive in and get unhooked. And I said, be careful, the water's dark, you can't see the whales and the sharks and the big fish down there. Well, he dives in. Everybody else stays on the raft. All of a sudden, I hear it, and I was like, oh no. I reach over the raft. I'm trying to feel around in the water. He's not. I can't find him. So I end up going, okay, everybody, I'm jumping in, and I'm scared to death, of course. I jump in the water. It's dark. I go under the raft. I wave around my arms and whatnot. I find him under the water. And then I grab them. We get to the top. I'm trying to grab onto like the ropes that have the canoes and raft and tubes tied all together, because there's a lot of us in this dream at that point. You guys reach over and help pull him up and get me up. I couldn't draw everybody and everything. And like I said, I was trying to incorporate a lot into one. But this guy didn't get hurt in the head yet. And I remember standing on the raft, standing over him, I was thinking, and this is key, this isn't supposed to happen. This is the Great Tribulation. You can't die. And I stood watch over him, and I bandaged his head, and he remained alive. And I think that's it as far as my future with Yud-Heh-Vav-Heh. I'm so hungry. I haven't been eating. I'm struggling with my appetite, and I keep saying, okay, Abba, I want to turn this into prayer and fasting. Help me with the prayer through the fasting part. I don't mean to be fasting. I just can't eat. So I hope I'm doing a good job, Yud-Heh-Vav-Heh. I love you. Guys, I don't have any more dreams left. And I've been thinking about this for a while now. I've been thinking about it since 2013. But especially as of late. When is the Great Tribulation going to start? I don't believe in the rapture, but people always try to guess the rapture. And Yud-Heh-Vav-Heh says, listen, guys, nobody knows the date or time. I'm going to get to my second set of pictures, but can you guys give me a moment? Okay, that's what I want, is a moment. Please. Why do I put my chat room up live? Because it keeps everybody honest, okay? There was an ex, sadly, who used to play a lot of games in my chat room. Sadly, there's trolls that play a lot of games in my chat room. That's why my chat room is always up live on my screen. Hopefully it's a good deterrent. And also, it catches them in the act. And it's forever recorded, so even if they go back in to my live stream, they can't go back into the chat room and then delete their comment and take it out. Messed up people, Christians, non-Christians, friends, non-friends, have all done that. Gone back in, gotten ticked off or whatever, had a misunderstanding. And they've gone in and they've taken out their comments. I don't think that's right or fair. So my HTV security team has changed around how it handles some affairs. Now, really, to look at the dreams that Yud-Heh-Vav-Heh gave me about my future, because again, I asked him in 2013, what is my future? I want a future with you. Please give me a future with you and show me what it is. So he showed me my future, but he also showed me that the Holy Bible was living and real. He kept drawing my eyes to Revelation, the story of the Lady and the Dragon, which happened September 23rd, 2017, and I was present for it for the months before, during, and after, looking at Star Tracker and looking at this and thinking, wow, Yud-Heh-Vav-Heh, you kept pulling my eyes since December 2014, before I even understood what was going on. You kept pulling my eyes to that story, and here I am. Well, at the time, September 23rd, 2017, looking at it happen, and wow, it's coming true. 3,000-year-old prophecies in the Holy Bible are coming true right before my eyes. Wow, my dreams are coming true. And, you know, anyway, so, I hear about a second Exodus. Now, the second Exodus would coincide with what Yud-Heh-Vav-Heh showed me, about him putting me in a bubble and just moving me, protecting me, as well as moving and protecting you guys. He never showed me taking me off the earth. Like, we inherit this, guys. So the next pictures I'm going to show you are very true to form, and I know that we're all going to disagree, but we're not going to argue. If you disagree, please tell me how you disagree and what you think. Please feel free to state what you believe and how you think. I'm not going to cut you off from that. But I just don't want to argue, okay? You can say, no, Holly, I disagree. This is how I disagree and why I disagree. I will read it and I will value it, okay? So just let's not fight. I'm trying to do better and behave better myself. And while I do, I'm taking all of you with me. I'm going to come back on camera. Give me a minute. So, my dreams about my future, I don't have anymore. There's just that one left to happen as far as me and my future. Oh yeah, apparently I can pull my mods. I need to start pulling my mods. First of all, I need to go log into my own chat room with one of my sock accounts that I've armed up with a wrench. And then what I want to do is then start up a private chat room with just my mods as I'm running the show. Oh, KJ's on right now. So is Mike Morales. So is Through the Black. What's everybody talking about? Let's find out. Snowing Plastic, Snow Mold Weather Warfare Live is Mike Morales. Colin McIntosh is on. Mike from Around the World is on. Paul Begley. Through the Black, Orbs Explained. That sounds interesting. Seeking the Truth. I wouldn't mind getting Thomas Dunn's take on what he thinks orbs are. That'd be pretty interesting. I'd like to hear what Russ Dizdar... Well, everybody gets what they think from Russ Dizdar, from L.A. Marzulli, from Chuck Missler, from Derek Prince, from Steve Quayle, from Paul McGuire, from Tom Horn. So, yeah. Anyway, we all run in the same circles. Holy Spirit Circle. What is KJ talking about? He's brilliant. All right. Excuse me. I am going to finish with my show, and I really got to eat, and then I need to clean, and then tomorrow I'm going to run a live stream, and I'm going to tell you what I'm up to. I can't tell you right now. Michael Basham, it's such an honor to have you in my chat room. Oh, my God. Michael Basham's in my room, and so is Fringe Radio Network. Yay! I'm so honored and humbled. I figured out your software. I want to run my introduction to your audience. I also, on a personal note, have to finish the last 2 hours of reading the audio version of my autobiography. That I would just like to upload to your thing, just as an upload. But I'd like to broadcast live for Fringe Radio Network. And so But yeah, I want to interview the ex-shaman and then also get going with the ex-leader of the Black Army. Totally, totally cool. I sat down and wrote these shows up. There's a third person. They dedicated their research and studies to, you know how like there's these things called elemental beings, and you have fire, water, earth, air, and these are elemental beings. And then you look at the planets, which people call wandering stars, but people say are also planets and stars. But planets, let's focus on that, that they're celestial beings, right? Really old, ancient, old celestial beings. And so it's not his testimony per se, but it's more his research and studies that I want to get from him. And I wrote that out. I wrote out with the ex-shaman. I wrote out part of my introduction, but of course I'm going to stumble through that. Mr. Burns, it's so great to see you. Much love to you. So I'm with it, and I'm a professional. Like your channel, Fringe Radio Network, professional. HTV, not so professional. Well, I don't know. I'm gonna have fun with your music board. If I could like use Spreaker, I wish I had camera for YouTube. I would love to collaborate with you. I'd be honored and humbled, privileged. I'm so totally down for it. I've got an appointment booked too, guys. Like, I'm like professional. Okay, forgive me at first how I say it. Like, I hired a secretary, but she's not a secretary. She's going to just help me deal with the inflow of emails. We have an email. I got to double check with her to make sure she didn't change it. But I think it's hallbags11@gmail. Let me double check it because I think we might change it. But she's going to help me with the emails and dealing with stuff like that. And I need the help. So she's kind of going to more like be my partner in crime. But man, you get her talking about things she's felt in her past and gone through. She's just like me. We're so similar. We've been through such similar things. So I really value her and cherish her. And she's very near, dear, and close to me. You know, Michael. You remember Cellar Door. You took her testimony with Anna Prayers. Yeah, I'm always bugging Anna Prayers and Cellar Door. Meek Mom and Meek Dad are very happy about that because they're busy with their own families right now. So I can bother Anna and Miracle Mags. But without further ado, let me get back to... Okay, so my eyes are peaked and peeled because I'm always trying to guess the Great Tribulation when that commences. You know, the 7 years of tribulation. My birthday's September 12th. I believe Yeshua HaMashiach is September 11th. But I've always had this, like, weird vision in my head that after my birthday, 1 year, I would blow out the candles. And by midnight, September 13th, my guests at my dinner table would we'd then put the birthday cake away and then get out our rifles and knives and get locked and loaded and sharpen them. And we'd put armor on, and that would be like the Great Tribulation commencing. So I bumped into other people that have other spiritual gifts, and they have other callings. You know, some are into gematria, some are Holy Bible code searchers, some get dreams and visions. You know, they have a vast array of different gifts. So I'm not going to call out what group. And it's not my story to tell. It's their research, so it would be for them to tell. But someone had mentioned about the Great Tribulation and them thinking that it was going to happen a lot sooner than anyone think. And by sooner, I mean like, I'm really glad I reunited with my mom. I should have done it in 2018, 2019. 2017. Well, 2017 we had a falling out, but I really wanted to reach out again in 2018, 2019. And I really should have. So, if there's somebody out there you want to tell that you love them or make amends, now's the time to do it. Go show up on their front doorstep and knock on their door like I did. It was better than me picking up the phone because I was just rejected with a phone call. And everything has just been so beautiful. My mother and I feel we're a success story. So now just to win souls for Yeshua HaMashiach. And I claim her with Yeshua HaMashiach. I'm a professional. So I think, every year since 2014, I've been looking for the Great Tribulation to commence and happen. It's great to see Lincoln. I don't know, guys, but I think I said it all right there with telling you I've been looking for the Great Tribulation to commence every year after my birthday. And my senses and spidey instincts are heightening with each year passing. Back in 2014, someone asked me, how much longer do you think we have left? Back in 2014, 2015 as well. I said 10, 15 years if we're lucky before the Great Tribulation starts. So I don't, except for that one guy getting a head wound as a time marker, so to speak, there's only one more dream left to have, and that's the guy that gets hit in the head. In this real life, I'm waiting for that event. I don't know who, what, when, where, why. You guys want psychics and details for all of that. Okay, he didn't give it to me. I'm not a psychic. I'm not a prophet. I'm not a prophetess. Just Yud-Heh-Vav-Heh showed me an event happening, showed me someone getting whacked in the head, something happening, a major catastrophe happening. And so I'm looking for this event. When that event happens, I'll know because I'm looking for it. I don't know all the particulars, but trust me, I got my eyes peeled on current world events. That's all I know, is just to keep my eyes peeled. So after that, does it really matter if the details? Does it really matter if I say, oh, this person at this time on this day, they're going to get whacked in the head or whatever? I mean, does it really matter who, what, when, where, why? Doesn't it just matter that, okay, there's an event that's bad that's going to happen, and when that event happens, I think the Great Tribulation is going to be kicked off, so to speak. Who knows? Yud-Heh-Vav-Heh showed me the three angels of Revelation. There is no rapture. If you think you're going to grow wings and go flap, flap away and then get a glorified body and come back down here to earth to be one of the 144,000 to help other people march up to the guillotines to get their heads chopped off for loving Jesus more than their own life, but you yourself are not going to get your head chopped off, I have to tell you, you are beyond false doctrine and you are beyond instigating my MK Ultra from spinning. You are completely delusional. I can't believe you didn't pick up on it. Stop cherry picking holy Bibles, oh my God, and stop relying on man's traditions. Let every man be a liar, let Yeshua HaMashiach be the truth. Okay, no rapture. The way you guys are talking about it, harpazo, your escape cord, out of here, no, ain't gonna happen. Your alien ascension is the same as your Baptist Christian rapture. Okay? No. Revelation chapter 14, verses 6 through 13. When Yud-Heh-Vav-Heh showed me it, he put me in the place of being the first angel flying over. Yud-Heh-Vav-Heh had to make an impact on me. So in the dream, I was the first one to fly over and yell. And I'm flying through this darkness, and there's two more behind me. And it's just so dark, so dark. All I do is fly. It's like I'm being weighed down and held under an ocean of heavy, heavy water at the bottom. And I'm just trying to make my way up and make my way through all of this darkness to the light above, because that's Yeshua. And I just got to get through all this darkness. And I'm shouting Yeshua. I'm shouting something. And these two have a role as well. The two witnesses of Revelation. In the dream, I don't know, maybe in a store, bar, restaurant, here's a counter, here's a TV screen, here's a person behind the counter, here's a bunch of people. Some are with Yeshua, some are not. This is a doorway. In the dream, it's winter outside, so that's why there's footprints, because this is snow. In the dream, I'm in an establishment, and we're all in winter jackets, and I look up at the TV, and I see the two witnesses, and I identify them right off the bat. And I'm so startled to see the two witnesses, and I pray for the two witnesses because of what is going to happen to them and what they have to do. And I go flying through the crowd, running through the crowd, out the door. I get out the door, into the snow, cold night air, and I drop to my hands and knees, and I start praying for the two witnesses. Well, someone from there chases me out and goes, "Holly, are you okay?" I'm like, "Okay? No. Don't you know who that is?" And they're like, "No, Holly, I don't." I'm like, "How do you not know who that is?" That is the two witnesses from Revelation. How do you not know your Holy Bible? Yud-Heh-Vav-Heh showed me Revelation, chapter 6, verse 14. When our universe tears open, these are buildings. I see like these bright colors go rolling over the cities. Our universe gets a tear in its lining. I don't know if this is when CERN opens up the gate of hell or whatnot, but this is the Holy Spirit. I want to focus on Yeshua, not the bad stuff. I want to see him. Focus on him. This is me and a boy. These are people. And this is a balcony where I'm standing and watching with, I guess it's a brother in Christ. Here's a bunch of people here. We're all kind of together, and we're watching our universe, and our skies roll back, and our universe tear apart. And that's, the three crosses. Yeshua was, crucified along with two other people. Yud-Heh-Vav-Heh showed me, where's the Holy Bible first? The seventh trumpet, Revelation chapter 11, verses 15 to 19. The seventh trumpet, when he comes with a loud voice and he calls all of our names at once. Something happens to my body. I see these good angels. I am reunited with Yud-Heh-Vav-Heh. All of us are reunited with Yud-Heh-Vav-Heh. But it's the seventh trumpet when he calls for us. When that angel calls, there is something that transpires and transitions from that. That's not him taking us into another galaxy or whatever you rapturists think. I don't really know, because you all got me confused. And as far as I know, it's the Illuminati elite families that sold you the dispensationalism, and then it became tradition, and it's only been around since the 1850s, I'm not sure, and it was some man that created the rapture. So anyway, Yeshua, Yud-Heh-Vav-Heh showed me the two resurrections. I'm a part of the first one. In the dream, Yud-Heh-Vav-Heh showed me of when I had a death experience in 2007, and Yud-Heh-Vav-Heh and Yeshua brought me back to life and resurrected me. Well, in the dream, Yud-Heh-Vav-Heh resurrected me. I identified with that. All of a sudden, I see a whole bunch of people come back alive. And then all of a sudden, there's this second resurrection, and I see all these people and things come back alive. And I was like, whoa, everything. And everybody's here back. So it was really kind of hard to draw it, but I grouped all the bad things together and I put them in a box so they can't come alive off the page. There's something with the MK Ultra and the spiritual warfare I go under where I draw a box around bad things so that way the bad things are contained and they don't come alive off the page. It's just something I do. Now these are good spiritual beings and good things. These are good people with Yeshua's light shining through them. Here's me. These are good spiritual beings. So again, I ask Yud-Heh Vav-Heh for more clarity on this dream. But I believe with the first resurrection, yeah, I want more clarity. So this Yud-Heh Vav-Heh showed me, I believe I'm a part of the first one. A part of the first resurrection he has. Because he resurrected me. I identified what he was getting at, and I saw the first resurrection, and I felt I was a part of it, and then I saw the second one, and you guys are in for a trip, whether you believe him or don't. Judgment Day, Revelation chapter 20, verses 10 through 15. Satan, Shakar, whatever, or maybe it's Pan, who knows. Whatever, it's an Antichrist spirit. I mean Satan, the Antichrist, Satan. We're all in the lineup in front of Yahweh and Yeshua HaMashiach. Yud-Heh Vav-Heh, Yeshua HaMashiach. There's a throne. We're all lined up. Satan gets out of the lineup and runs around and hides behind Heavenly Abba's throne and says, don't let them hurt me. Don't let them hurt me. Because we humans judge the angels. And I say, Yud-Heh Vav-Heh, you're the best judge of all. You can judge them better than I. Will you cast judgment on the angels for me? And I really don't want to be judged. So I don't want to judge others, ultimately. And this is when we're judged as sheep or goats. Right? I don't know if you can see all that. This is the day that Yeshua HaMashiach returns. He comes. We see him. His foot's huge on a cloud. He comes. He returns physically. When his second return looks like that. Does that make sense? Okay, so when you read his second return, he showed me he's returning a second time. So, and he showed me this dream first. He showed me first that he was returning, and then after he showed me his second return, I told my attorney and father figure, who's now deceased, but when I told him, I said, Yeshua returns, and he showed me that he returns. My attorney opened up the Holy Bible, and we began having Holy Bible studies every Friday. So, yeah, Revelation 22 is Yeshua's second return. He showed me that. So when my personal dreams stop, and the last one is for that event with somebody getting hurt in the head. Well, the only dreams then left to come true are Revelation in the Holy Bible. Because my future stops. His future and carrying his gospel starts for me. That's like the real work for me. I really hope the first asteroid doesn't take me out. Please give me something really cool to do for you, Yeshua HaMashiach. Don't feed me to the wolves just yet. All right, so I don't know what to call this. I ran this because I wanted to talk about the Great Tribulation. Oh my God, I can't believe it's 10 o'clock already. How long have I been talking? An hour. I gotta go. I'm tired. But I really actually have to go. I could do it tonight, or I could just go get in bed. You know what? That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go find a good video on YouTube. I'm going to go to sleep. now. My cell phone's going dead. What time should I wake up in the morning? 7? It's going to be a long day. Well, 8, then I'd have... That's not going to... 7 would be enough. And then I have 9, 10. So... 7. Forgive me. I gotta set my alarm. So... Okay. What else did I have to do? Oh. So I should go do that. Okay. I think I got it all. Alright. That's tomorrow. So I'm waking up at 7. I gotta get ready anyway. I gotta double check. Okay. It's there. Alright. And on that note, I'm going to go find someone else's live stream to go hang out at. I love you guys very, very much. Yeah, if anybody that's got my number, anybody wants to call me at 7 a.m. to wake me up, to make sure I get up, is more than welcome to, because I'm leaving my cell phone in the living room tonight. I'm not bringing it with me. But I could use the help making sure I wake up at 7. Tomorrow's going to be an extremely longer day. I tell you what I'm doing tomorrow afternoon. You're going to be like, oh my God, Holly. I'm going to say, yeah, I know. I totally lied to you guys the whole time. It's going to be great. Yes, I'm up to something. I'll see you guys Saturday in Pennsylvania, though. I love you, Greta. Sweet dreams, everyone. Thanks for joining me for the past hour and going on 4 minutes. And I guess that's a wrap for I Want My HTV. I want my HTV. But it's over now. Good night, guys.